Hello everyone, this is the Warden of Arnor doing another deck building challenge. So, the Battle of the Pelennor Fields, excellent quest, has on stage 2 this effect. Starting with the first player, each player discards cards from the top of their deck until they discard an ally that is not in play. Put the discarded ally into play in the staging area and treat its text box as if it were blank until the end of the phase. So if your deck has very few or no allies in it, this means a lot of discarding. So if you have no allies, it means you discard your entire deck. Such as if you are playing a deck using the contract for the 3 hunters, which disallows you from having allies in your deck. So this is the deck building challenge. And of course, the obvious answer to how you deal with this is you include 3 copies of Will of the West, you mulligan for it, and that way, once your deck is discarded, you can shuffle it all back in. But I say that is the coward's way out. So, this is what we have. There is no spirit access, there is no Will of the West, there is no reshuffling. Once I advance to stage 2, I discard my deck and I never get any more cards. Surprisingly, this is possible. It's not necessarily the most consistent. I may need a couple of tries, maybe some extra mulligans, but it's doable. So the rest of the setup is setting a bunch of stuff aside out of play. I don't need this. Squire of Gondor is going to go on Aragorn, and Squire of Rohan doesn't matter, but I'm going to put it on Berevor. So, okay. Let's see. Because I do get 2 free planning phases. But that's it. So this opening hand is decent, but it is missing one crucial card, which I probably should mulligan for. I don't know, I'm not sure. Maybe I try this. But it might mean a quick reset. Okay. We are not idle. Draw a card. Berevor. Draw 2 cards. Okay. Still haven't found it, but... Okay, so the first restricted attachment played on each hero each round has its cost reduced by 1 at the moment, because I'm on the A side of the contract. So, pay 1 for Celebrian Stone on Aragorn, who, of course, while he has an artifact attached, he gains Sentinel and does not exhaust a quest. Celebrian Stone is an artifact. Put a War Axe onto Boromir, Ranger Spear onto Berevor, the Gondorian Shield onto Denethor. I mean, this is decent. At the end of the planning phase, place 1 progress here, and that's it for the round. And then I'm going to exhaust Berevor again. Play We Are Not Idle. Okay. So the Valiant Sword can go straight onto Boromir. Destria can go onto Denethor. The Ranger Spear. Actually, I should hold off for a bit. I play Heed the Dream. Search the top 5 cards of my deck. And I grab Pillars of the Kings, which is the crucial card. Now this does lead to some problems. and namely that I'm setting my threat to 40. And obviously options for threat reduction in this deck are limited. But I do get to draw 4 more cards. Okay, so yes, 1 for... or 0 rather, for a Ranger Spear on Beravor, and 0 for a Valiant Sword on Aragorn. Gonna heed the dream again. Take the Daeron's runes. Hang on, I didn't shuffle again after heeding the dream. I should do that. Okay. I'm in business. So 1 for a Shining Shield on Denethor. I'll go 1 for a Gondorian Shield on Boromir. And then I will play Drinking Song. Drinking Song gives me this. Okay. This probably doesn't work. I'm just gonna tell you now this probably doesn't work because I don't have enough threat reduction in hand. Everything else is good. The combat setup I've got here is good. But my only threat reduction here is, of course, Pillars of the Kings sets your threat to 40. That can be reducing your threat as well as raising it. But that's only one thing. It's probably not enough, because I will pretty much certainly have to use Boromir's ability to ready him. But okay, I'm not going to just abandon this straight up. So we're going to give it a try. I may as well play the Dagger of Westerness onto Aragorn. Just as a little backup, Daggers of Westerness are also artifacts, so if I don't find Celebrian Stone for Aragorn, that's a thing. At the end of the planning phase, I place a progress here. And now I just... okay, so each player adds 1 Wraith on Wings. And... oh! Adds a Wraith on Wings and reveals an encounter card. Okay. And then I discard my deck. So discard 28. There goes my deck. X is the total cost of all allies in the staging area, so it's 0, so I immediately advance the quest. Which is another reason why this is a bit of a problem. Stage 2 can be a little bit of, maybe not exactly a respite, but it's nicer than Stage 3. So, Minas Tirith, Grond, the Witch King. Each other player search with the encounter deck and discard part of a different enemy. There are no other players, so I don't have to do that part. Assault. +4 quest points for each player in the game. Players cannot travel to Pelennor locations. When an enemy is destroyed, place progress on this stage equal to that enemy's total threat. Must be placed on the active location first. Minas Tirith has 30 hit points plus 10 for each player, so 40. It is now the beginning of the quest phase. I place a resource on the Wraith on Wings. I place a resource on Grond and deal damage to Minas Tirith. And the Witch King, I discard from the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded and add it to the staging area. There's a Mordor Orc. Okay. So, Aragorn quests without exhausting for 4. And, I mean, I could quest with Boromir as well. He would add 2 because the Squire of Gondor +1 willpower while committed to the quest with another Gondor character. That would apply, obviously. But I think I want to be a bit careful about my threat because, of course, the assault keyword on the quest here, I don't raise my threat when I quest unsuccessfully. Instead, I deal damage to Minas Tirith. Which, obviously, I do want to avoid that, but there's other stuff going on here. So I think I quest for 4. Siege Tower, okay. So 3, 4, 10, 11, 13, 14. Okay. So I deal 10 damage to Minas Tirith. This seems pretty bad, I know. But okay, so now this guy will engage me. This guy will engage me. Do I engage the Wraith on Wings? I don't have to engage the Wraith on Wings. Its engagement cost is currently 44. So I guess it's probably better not to right now. I certainly can't kill it. Well, actually, can I? Okay, so Aragorn is 3 attack, 5 attack, 7 attack against the Wraith on Wings. I am below its engagement cost. And Boromir is 6, 8 attack. So that's 15 attack, which is not enough. I can't kill the Wraith on Wings. But that being the case, maybe I should start chipping away at it. Or not. Maybe just have it out of the staging area. So if I do that, deal shadow cards. There is archery 3 from the siege tower. I will deal that archery like this. So Denethor defends against the Southern Champion. Okay. Oh no, actually, hang on. Looking at that. No, Denethor defends against the Wraith on Wings. +1, +2 if it has the Mordor trait, which it doesn't, so that's 7 attack. Denethor is 7 defense. Ready with the Destria, discard this shadow card so that this forced effect has no chance to trigger because the Southern Champion does not have a shadow card. Defend against the Southern Champion. Yeah, I think I take this undefended. Okay, so it's 2 damage to Minas Tirith. But now Boromir attacks and takes out Southern Champion. I place 2 progress on the Pelennor Field. I raise my threat, but I want to ready Boromir. Aragorn takes out the Mordor Orc, places 1 more progress. Boromir attacks the Wraith on Wings and deals 4 damage. In the refresh phase, each of my heroes has at least 2 restricted attachments, so I flip 4 of the 3 hunters over. And Control N. So I could actually replace Boromir's Gondorian Shield with a Dagger of Westerness, but I don't know that I want to. At the end of the round, deal 1 damage to Minas Tirith for each enemy in the staging area. It's just 1. And yeah, of course, I can exhaust 4 of the 3 hunters to heal 1 damage from each of my heroes, but I'm saving it up in case Denethor gets damage. So now each of my heroes is getting +1 willpower for each restricted attachment they have. So Aragorn is 7 willpower, and against most things he's 6 attack, 7 against the Wraith on Wings. Denethor's willpower is fairly irrelevant, but just for the sake of completeness, Boromir is 4 willpower, 8 attack, and 4 defense. Beravor is 4 willpower and 4 attack. So now, at the beginning of the quest phase, okay. So the threat in the staging area is 8, 11, 14. I can quest for 7, 11, 15, 16. Okay. I break even. Minas Tirith takes no damage. Okay. So I engage the Morgul Captain. Before the combat phase, any of the phases before the combat phase, I ready Boromir. I still have Archery 3, so I will put 1 on Denethor, and I guess that, and then I'll do this. Now Denethor defends against the Morgul Captain. +1 attack is fine. I discard the shadow card from the Wraith on Wings and then defend it. Aragorn and Boromir can now kill the Wraith on Wings. 2 progress. And I can ready Boromir and kill the Morgul Captain. 3 more progress. Minas Tirith takes 1 damage at the end of the round. Oh, incidentally, it's not explicitly spelled out, but I'm assuming with the Wraith on Wings and the Wraiths on Wings get their threat increased by the resources on them. And here it says, when an enemy is destroyed, place progress on this stage equal to that enemy's total threat. So I assume that includes the additional threat for the Wraiths on Wings, because if it doesn't, I'm pretty sure there's nothing else that increases the threat of enemies. So it would make no sense to specify total threat rather than printed threat. So that's always been my assumption, and I'm going to stick with it. Okay. So now, yeah. Grond is a problem. There's my extra enemy from the Witch King. So we're looking at 2, 4, 7, 10, 16, which is also the amount that I quest for. Peril, doomed 1, discard an ally you control. I don't have any allies, so that's just doomed 1, which is a bit unfortunate, to be fair. My threat is a problem, but sure. So I break even. I think this has to be the time that I travel to Grond. I wish this guy was 3 threat. Yeah, nothing else to really be done. Travel to Grond. Witch King attacks. Okay, +1 attack, that's 7. Denethor still takes no damage. I can't discard a shadow card with the Destria. Engage the Orc of the Eye. It's archery 1 on top of the archery 3 from the siege tower, so I deal 1 damage to each of my heroes, and then exhaust 4 of the 3 hunters to heal all of that damage. Defend with Denethor. And then I attack with Aragorn. I place 2 progress. 1 more damage to Minas Tirith. Control N. At the beginning of the quest phase. Okay. Threat is 6, 9, 11, 13. I quest for 16. Each player searches the encounter deck and discard power for an enemy and puts it into play engaged with them. That's actually good, because it allows me to make more quest progress. So let's see, with that in mind. Ooh, okay, so there are some interesting options here. One is I could take the Black Serpent just because he's high threat. Another is, though it might seem strange, I could take a War Mumak, because when you defeat a War Mumak, you reduce each player's threat by 4. And threat is a problem for me. Although, I don't know. I don't know how big a problem threat is going to be for me. I might be able to just push through the quest quickly enough. I mean, I have to go at a decent pace, given the state of Minas Tirith. So maybe that 1 Pillars of the Kings will actually be enough, and I should just take the Black Serpent, because I can immediately kill him for 4 progress, which will advance me to stage 4 of the quest. Yeah. I'm inclining towards that option. It is really nice that the War Mumaks reduce threat when you kill them, but of course it takes 3 rounds to do. So I'm just going to take the Black Serpent. I think it was engaged with me. Yeah, engaged with me. So I don't add the threat to the staging area, which means Minas Tirith doesn't take any more damage in questing. I engage the champion. And I guess I defend the Black Serpent first. Okay, and I can discard the shadow card from the champion, so his forced effect has no chance to trigger. Oh, and I raise my threat by 1 to ready Boromir. Boromir is enough attack to take out the Black Serpent. Add him to the victory display. I make 4 progress. Grond also goes to the victory display. Oh, there was also still archery 3. So, I mean, if I do like that, say, then I can get down to this, and Aragorn takes out the Southron champion. I make 2 more progress, and I advance the quest. Set the Witch King aside out of play. Each player searches the top 10 cards of their deck for an ally. Can't do that. I don't have a deck, and I don't have any allies. Progress that would be placed on this stage by questing successfully is instead assigned as damage among enemies in play. Progress must be placed on the active location first. Okay, there are no enemies in play, but sure. So, Control N. There are no enemies in the staging area to deal damage to Minas Tirith. My threat is now 49, so I'm going to pay 4 for Pillars of the Kings and set it back to 40. Okay. I'm now thinking about that Dagger of Westerness, but I think I may still want the shield just in case. I think Boromir may still have to defend some things for me. So there's 5 threat in the staging area now. So, and nothing happens at the beginning of the quest phase. So, do I want to have more attack available by holding back Beravor and questing with Aragorn and Boromir? That way I could potentially deal with the Witch King. So I know that the Witch King is going to be coming back on this side. Aragorn is 7 attack against the Witch King because it's 50 engagement cost. Actually, yeah, no, you know what? I think I'm going to play the Dagger of Westerness. Discarding the Gondorian Shield. And then, yes, I'm going to quest with Aragorn and Boromir for 12 willpower. I reveal a War Mumak. Okay. Well, that brings me up to 9 threat. So, and the progress is placed as damage on the War Mumak. So that's fine. Yeah, okay, whatever. I raise my threat by 1 to ready Boromir. First player adds the Witch King. And I get a Fell Beast. Each other player reveals an encounter card. There are no other players. So Fell Beast is +1 threat attack. Oh, -10 engagement cost. So okay. With that in mind, I'd forgotten the -10 engagement cost. I am going to take back that Dagger of Westerness. Let Boromir keep his shield because he may still be called upon to defend things. Okay. The Witch King and Shadow cards dealt to the Witch King are immune to player card effects. When an enemy attacks and destroys a character, deal 1 damage to Minas Tirith. That should not happen. Cannot be defeated unless Aragorn is in play. That's only a campaign mode thing. He starts the game in play, and the Witch King has to be in the victory display. Okay, so I could travel to Pelennor Field now. I could travel to the Siege Tower. That would get me another enemy. It would take away some archery though. There's more threat out of the staging area. I do need to quest to victory, so okay. Shuffle the discard pile in first. Okay. So I do not have to engage the War Mumak. I do have to engage the Witch King and the Orc of the Eye. Well, of course, at the beginning of the encounter phase, the Witch King engages the first player, then makes an immediate attack. I defend with Denethor, but I'm also going to engage the Orc of the Eye. If this attack destroys a character, it does not. The Witch King is 7 attack, Denethor is 7 defense. I ready him. Can't discard a shadow card. Okay. So now I defend the Orc of the Eye with archery 3. So I can assign it to 3 undamaged heroes and then heal all 4 heroes. So yes, I defend with Boromir and then ready him. The Orc of the Eye, +1 attack. That's fine. Now defend the Witch King with Denethor again. Okay. I do need to take out the Orc of the Eye. Okay, actually, no, it's the same either way. The Ranger Spears are +2 attack if attacking an enemy with an attachment on it, which the Witch King has. So that means that Beravor is 6 attack against the Witch King, but so is Aragorn. So it's just equal. So I have already ready Boromir after he defended. So I'll just kill the Orc of the Eye and then 14 attack +1 defense from the Fell Beast. 7 damage. Do it again next round. That's a dead Witch King. There is 1 enemy in the staging area. I think. Oh no! At the end of the round, return attached enemy to the staging area. But hang on, these are both at the end of the round. So at the end of the round, deal 1 damage to Minas Tirith for each enemy in the staging area. Okay, there's 1. At the end of the round, return attached enemy to the staging area. Okay. I'm allowed. The first player is allowed to choose a sequence of things with the same timing. So I will of course do it the way that favours me. Okay. Nothing at the beginning of the quest phase. Threat in the staging area is 13. So this is 16 willpower, right? Yeah. Revealing a fire-filled trench. Okay. So I make 1 progress. At the beginning of the encounter phase, the Witch King engages and makes an immediate attack. I defend with Denethor. Discard a non-objective attachment you control. I discard a Squire of Rohan. That's the only thing it's good for. I think I want to take the War Mumak. I want it out of the staging area, and I think I will want to lower my threat with it. So I engage the War Mumak. I raise my threat by 1 to ready Boromir. Deal shadow cards. There's archery 2. Assign it to the 2 heroes who do not defend. Defend the Witch King. If this attack damages a hero, it does not. Defend the War Mumak. Okay, he takes 2 damage. I raise my threat by 1 to ready him. Now, no, this didn't make sense. Because I need both of these 2 to attack the Witch King. So I shouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done this. Which means this would have been the shadow card and this would be on top of the encounter deck. I'll just pretend I don't know it's there. I may well forget by the quest phase. Anyway, Boromir did not need to defend anything. I did not need to raise my threat that last time because he didn't exhaust to defend. I can heal here and attack for 14. Witch King goes to the victory display. 1 more damage to Minas Tirith. Okay. So I guess this actually will work out. I did not expect to get this first try. I guess I still haven't yet, but it's looking good. There's 8 threat in the staging area. I quest for 16. Black Dart. Remove a hero you control from the quest and attach Black Dart to that hero. Okay. Boromir and Berevor are both 4 willpower, but Boromir is effectively 5 because he's adding 1 to Aragorn by being committed to the quest with him. And Boromir might have to defend something and thus take damage. So that does remove 4 willpower, so I'm only questing for 12. I make 4 progress. 3, 4. Travel to the fire-filled trench. Now I definitely do engage the War Mumak. There is archery 2. I'll assign it like this. Defend with Denethor. +2 because it has the Harad trait, so Denethor does take 1 point of damage. Aragorn is enough attack to deal the maximum 3 damage the War Mumak can take. I heal. It is at the end of the round that Berevor takes the damage from the Black Dart. There are no enemies in the staging area to damage Minas Tirith. Control N. There is 2 threat in the staging area. I quest for 16. And reveal. Each player searches the encounter deck and discard power for an enemy and puts it into play engaged with them. Not a problem. So now maybe I look at Mordor Orcs. Yeah. Because they surge, which leads to potential annoyances. There is still 2 threat in the staging area, so I'm making 14 progress. So that's 3 here and 11 on the quest. Oh, I travel, and then yes. Okay, so defend against the Mordor Orc. Oh, I raised my threat by 1 to ready Boromir. If this attack destroys a character, it does not. I discard the shadow card from the War Mumak and then defend it. Aragorn takes out the War Mumak. Reduce each player's threat by 4. Boromir takes out the Mordor Orc. Oh, there was archery, but I could have healed it. At the end of the round, Beravor takes the damage from the Black Dart. Control N. This will be the final round. I quest for 16 against an empty staging area. So I make 13 progress. Okay, I guess maybe it's possible it could have not been the last round if if a bunch of Mordor Orcs surged into each other, and then it could have been enough threat. But yeah. And there you are. Battle of Pelennor Fields. 4th of 3 hunters. No reshuffling. As I said, I really didn't expect to get this on the first try, and I was not optimistic about it when I saw that 1 Pillars of the Kings was my only available threat reduction. I do, of course, have... Well, I have Pillars of the Kings, and then I have Favour of the Valar, and then there are the War Mumaks. And that's basically all the threat reduction that's available to me. And I mean, as you saw, actually, no, I guess I didn't need the War Mumak. Because without it, I would have ended on 48 threat here. So very close, but still workable. Yeah, yeah. I need some threat reduction, but Pillars of the Kings is pretty sizable threat reduction when you can time it right. And if my attachment setup is really good, then I can just kind of sprint through the quest to a certain extent. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. If you feel like trying it yourself with this deck or a different one, feel free. If you try it with this deck, you will find probably that it doesn't always go this smoothly. It is very interesting. Obviously, you saw it. It looks pretty scary, the amount of damage that Minas Tirith takes early on stage 3. I mean, that's always the case, honestly, playing this quest, but even more so with the way this works, where you can't really quest much the first round, and then you take a little while to get rid of Grond, and it's starting to tick down. But then Minas Tirith just stops taking damage after that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.